Josh Sayertson here of World Alternative Media, and at this moment there are mothers fasting in front of the Manitoba Legislative building against CFS, and they'll be here for several days. We're going to see what's going on. Can you tell us what's happening here today?
Well, right now what you're witnessing is you're seeing camp set up for a fast that's going to be happening here on the east green space of the Manitoba Legislature. The men are putting up the teepee, the men will be lighting the fire, and the elder will be lighting the pipe, and there'll be a feast to start the fasting process, which a number of women have agreed to undertake in order to draw the spiritual strength we need to be able to continue working on bringing our children home.
Today we're beginning a fast. We're going to be fasting till Thursday, so 4 days. There's 7 women who are committing to go without food and water until Thursday. And for the whole entire time we're going to be praying for the issue of healthy families, healthy children, and helping to prevent the overrepresentation of First Nations children in CFS care. Our office has only been open since June 1st, so it's been only about 4 months. And in that time, we're learning a lot of troubling things that are happening in our community. And just in the short 4 months, there's been media and stats that have been released where, you know, our children in care are 4 times less likely to complete high school. 66% of the youth in the psychiatric ward are First Nations children in care. We know that, you know, the Women's Hospital in Winnipeg, there's 30 to 40 newborn baby apprehensions every month.
Well, people are here because of the theft of all the children that are in care right now, including my own. Okay, as of 60 days, my children have been taken by the system for... Well, we're going on 5 accusations now. None of them has been proven, but every month is something different. I have a lawyer and everything else, and I think it has to do with a lot of racism and because we're making noise.
Well, do you think that there's some sort of perhaps a conspiracy against First Nations people for 90% of children in care to be First Nations?
Aboriginal children are like coffee in this country. They're a commodity. They employ 7 white people or people of other countries or whatever the case might be. But they employ 7 people. So if you take the Aboriginal child or even an Aboriginal person for that matter, out of the quotation, a lot of people will be unemployed.
Yeah.
So right now it's an economy.
Well, and a lot of parents believe, because after all there are about 40,000 parents affected in Manitoba alone by CFS, and a lot of people believe that there is some kind of conspiracy to mess with First Nations culture by taking away children at such an early age.
Well, it's not just cultural, but it's social. It's also economic. The child welfare industry in Manitoba puts about $500 million in play each year. That's $500 million in circulation. That $500 million is a very, very significant contributor to Manitoba's economy. So what we've done is we've turned our children into money.
Yeah.
We've turned children into a commodity.
Yeah.
And you know, in the speculation in that type of marketplace, it's speculated on the tragedy of our families.
Yeah.
And it's a very good business. Now, to break that down, we're going to have to recognize that we cannot commodify our children. We cannot turn them into money. We've got to find a stronger foundation from which to provide protective services, because the commodification of them is contributing to the tragedies that we're seeing every day.
I was wondering, do you think that there's some kind of, maybe even a conspiracy for the state to apprehend children from First Nations families?
Well, we have some ideas on, you know, the levels of poverty, the intergenerational effects of residential school, and the 60 scoop, and we know that it's just a more modernized approach to institutionalizing our children.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like a continuation of the 60 scoop, really.
It's a continuation. When you look at the definition, the UN definition of racism, we know that, you know, what's happening in the CFS system, there's correlations to every part of genocide. There's 5 definitions under the definition there's 5 points, and we know that, each one of them is covered in the system.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you hope to achieve out of this fast?
Well, I think mainstream society has to be aware of really what's going on. In the days of residential school, in the days of 60 Scoop, I'm not necessarily sure that mainstream society was aware of what's going on, and what our hope is to build allies, bridge understandings, and work towards things that are going to really make a difference for our families.
Well, what do you hope to see out of this fast that's happening here?
I personally want my children back. I want everybody to get their children back that deserve to have their children back. I know that there's a lot of people that have problems, but taking their children is not the answer. This is a problem that was created by a colonial system, through residential school, so taking away the way that people brought up their children. So if you want to change it, then you have to start from there.
Yeah.
You made something bad, then you need to make it better.
Yeah.
And this is going to take, how many years is it since residential school and the white oppression? 150 years? Then we got to give it about 150 years for it to get better.
Yeah, well, this is just a continuation of the 60 Scoop, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's another continuation. It's another way to punish our people, okay, for what we're trying to accomplish. And it's not hard. We want exactly what everybody else has.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We want to live in happiness and in harmony with everybody. We want to have our children in good homes. You know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I do in the city. For me to be accused of neglect when I work with kids from all over the races and all backs, it's ludicrous. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's crazy. My wife is going through a really hard time, but she's going to fast for the next 4 days, and we're going to hopefully change things. If we are being used to make changes, then so be it. Creator has always put things in our plates. Right?
Yeah. Well, I wish you the most luck.
I just wanted to mention, though, and something that I mentioned to the other guy, I hope you guys look into why Canada didn't sign into the Declaration of Indigenous Rights.
Yeah.
Within those rights, we're going to have the right to our children. And I think that Canada has to really take a really good look at themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Jimmy Wicks,